Okay, so finally we are back to the session. Come to the today's video, and today's video will be again on the Mitre. And today we will be discussing another technique, that is tactics, the resource development. Yep, let me now share this screen with the navigator, which we will be going through on the different techniques and sub techniques used by the attackers, and how we can detect those such technique and attacks in cybersecurity in security operations center. So this is the navigator. This is from the Mitre website only. I'm using this, and we will be talking today about the second tactics, the resource development. If you can see if you are seeing the video as a blur, I believe guys you can change the quality also. In the setting you can select anything which you like and which you feel yourself comfortable. Yeah, so I'm now discussing about the resource development, the second technique used in the Mitre. Why the Mitre mention about the resource development? Because this is the key important part where attacker after understanding about the network infrastructures, about the live machines, about the port number, after they do the reconnaissance, they now have to select or they have to buy the services which might they need to target to deliver another attack of their face. For example, if you are going for a trip, then might be you are looking for the key things which you need to drive the car. You need the water bottles, you need some food, ships. So the same thing, attackers also trying to develop the resources. That means attacker want to collect those all required information, the tools, the websites, the domains. We can say it's basically they are packing up their bags for doing an attack on to your network. So in the resource development, I would say simply there are 7 techniques they have, but in each technique they have different other sub techniques. So now let me go one by one and let's understand. And guys, when I'm going through these all different sub techniques and techniques, you might see also that duplication of the activity, other techniques, a sub technique in the Mitre. It might be because of the way attacker using it on a different stage, might be the same way, they are performing something under the resource development, and the same technique they might be using in the persistence or in the executions. Might be. Yeah. So now let me discuss about the first technique, acquire infrastructure. So what does it mean? Why attacker have to to gain some information or to gain some infrastructure access? Why they need infrastructure? Definitely they need, right? For example, if they want to attack to your company through botnets, yeah, might be they are not don't have any botnet, but they have to buy it, right? They want to attack on your network by through DNS server, and they want to have their own DNS server to control the traffic. They have to buy some domain name which looks like your website name or your company name. They might need to buy some servers also. They might need to use some servers less technology, or they might need to set up some VPN also. Like they might need to create an account on some web services, the cloud accounts. So they have to first also access on such different sub techniques, we can say. Yeah, so they have to first acquire this infrastructure before targeting or delivering any attack further to your network. If we talk about the compromise accounts, the second technique in the resource development, so that means they have to first maybe use some compromised accounts like email account, social media accounts, the botnet, DNS, domain, again server, right? So they are using it basically to target your company, but they have an access to these accounts or to the servers, to DNS servers, to the VPNs. Why they need VPN access? Okay, might be they are connecting reverse connection to the VPN, or they are initiating. For example, if you compromise the machine, they want your machine to communicate back to the attacker. They are doing it through VPN. They are doing it through DNS server. Yeah, they're doing it through domain name. They're using domain name to deliver a phishing URL. Yeah, they have to acquire these infrastructures for to attacking onto your network. Let me see if we have any a comment so far, so I can answer you at the same time. No comment so far. Good. Okay. Then we have again compromised infrastructure. Yeah, they might have to might use some already compromised infrastructures. Basically, they have already compromised it, and now they are using it. So, or they have to compromise something else before compromising your machine. They might target. They might look for easy target, easy compromise infrastructures which they can be used to target your company network. Yeah, they're looking for serverless, VPN, web services, a code signing certificate. Let me now, this might be confusing you. So let me just go one by one. Okay, compromising infrastructures, compromising accounts, and acquiring infrastructures. Acquiring, we can say they are going to buy it. Yeah, they are going to lease it or taking on rent. Compromising it, they are targeting it at the accounts information. They are compromising the whole infrastructure. Yeah. Then if we go to some other technique, develop capabilities. So they, instead of not always buying or taking going for a rent, or looking not looking always for the compromised accounts or infrastructure, they can develop it. They can develop something by their own before doing further attacks. When attacker trying to deliver some kind of payload, they might need to sign those malware files, because there are other security control which looking for unsigned files, unsecured websites. They might not allowing the users to browse those websites or to install those execution applications into the machines. So the attacker might be developing some certificates, or they're signing some application, some signing, signing those applications also. They're signing their exploits. They're writing their own malware. They're not using customized or pre-built or already built malware with exploits. Otherwise, for example, I know one famous tool, for example, PHP Web Shell, and that is publicly exposed. The code is publicly exposed. So there are different vendors, AV vendors, who already developed these AV signatures on that. Maybe there are other IPS, IDS security control, which might have the signature for those same web shells, the same hack tools. So attacker, they, instead of using already defined one, they might be creating their own one also. So they will not have any reputations on the other security or in OSNT sources. Otherwise, if you have some malware, a file or application, you might be checking for the hash value for those applications or those programs on the virus total. But if attacker creating their own malware, if they're creating their own exploits, then you might not see any presence of those such exploit or the malware on the internet, right? And it doesn't mean if something is clean as per the virus total or any open source intelligence platform, it always clean. No. Then we should look for the dynamic analysis, or how does it work, how what it executes, what other programs it called, which what modification it does in the registry, if there is a scheduled task created, or what the basically program is doing after the execution into the machine. All right. And now if we talk about the established accounts, okay, so we can now use such of the services which already well known. For example, social media accounts. You're using this account to in your targeting. You're sending your Gmail accounts. You're using some cloud known accounts. Uh, those already have established a connection with the your target. Then you can also use these accounts. So you can see there are different ways they can take something on rent, they can buy it, they can compromise it, they can compromise the accounts, they can compromise the infrastructures, or they can using the established channels. For example, there is already established channel between the target and some other known on reputed company or this vendors which already have established a channel. So attacker can also use those cloud and email account, social media account to target your company. Obtain capabilities. Yeah, so in obtain capabilities, okay, so now again they can buy it. They can buy instead of creating their own certificate, instead of signing their applications, they can buy it. There are different websites also. There are different forums also. They are selling the vulnerabilities. They're selling the exploits. They're selling the malware. They are have different tools. They can use those tools to target your company also, and those such basically, for example, there is an attacker, there's a researcher who already have known exploit or known malware which is not known in the internet. You can use it. You can, again, you can use that particular kind of exploitation vulnerability or tool to again target in your in the next you can target the target can target your company, I mean, right? Stage capability. So now if we talk about the stage capability, again, if something is already being under control, attacker can use such kind of the capabilities to target again your network. So like link target, they can use a link, they can use SEO poisoning. For example, I would say if you are looking something for on the internet, they can use the SEO capabilities to trick you to visit something which is already infected. Yeah, so they can also use a kind of, they can upload a malware or a tool. So basically these are different sub techniques and techniques. But what is the security perspective, guys? What basically, if you got selected in a SOC as a SOC analyst or senior SOC analyst, what you should think of? So whatever being we discussed, for example, acquiring the infrastructures, okay, compromising the accounts, compromising the infrastructure. So you should not trust at first time when you're seeing the hit. You should not say this is the legit activity, this is legit domain, this is legit to IP. You should do the validation and the endpoint side. You should do the why, what, when, how. If you will asking the questions, then I'm sure you can come to know that this is even a known website, this is a known target, this is the known exploit. But then otherwise it will be gray kind of look. You don't know what basically happening into the network. If you something triggering as an alert, you should do the validation, you should have the assurance, you should gain the confidence, then under the validation, and then conclude it, okay, this is a true positive or the false positive, guys. Okay, this is all for today. If you have any questions, please put in the comments. I will be giving you the answers on that. Now let me one more time check the comment. Please make a video on SEC interviews question and answer. So your security question and answer, guys, understand. In my videos, I told you guys, this is all about you, how you are driving your interview, right? So this is you only. When you are going in an interview, you are letting and asking interviewer, like, you should ask me this. I know the Mitre framework. Then they can ask you something. Okay, do you know how many techniques it has? How many technique it has? What are sub technique attacker used? What are the different ways attacker compromising it? So this is all about the questions you are preparing, and you are asking the interviewer to ask you in the interview. And if you can answer it well, then I am sure they will be selecting you. So you should prepare something first, and then you are going in the interview, asking interviewer, ask me that thing. I know it well. And I think that will be cracking the interview. If I will give 10 questions, okay, I have 10 super top questions which always interview asking, then it might not works all time. Interview might change the pattern also, yeah. So you should prepare your interview based on your knowledge, your learning, and then you are going with that tool in the interview and ask the interviewer, ask me that thing. I can answer you well, and they might be more satisfied also. But if you have any specific domain you want me to cover up, guys, let me know in the comments. I will be coming and preparing some interview questions on that topic for you. Okay, I hope you like this video. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.